Nobody understands how Brian Okwara keeps doing this every single time, but somehow fans are once again convinced that this man was born specifically to play protective husband roles in Nollywood Loudly Cold, because every recent movie clip people keep watching online has turned into another emotional discussion about how Brian behaves around Sonia Uch on screen, and the reactions are becoming louder by the day. Weary Fire, what is making viewers lose their minds this time is not even romance alone, but the strange way Brian always carries himself, like somebody whose full-time job is making sure Sonia Uch's character never suffers alone. Loudly Broken fans are saying there is just something different about the way he reacts whenever her character looks stressed, confused, emotional, or heartbroken, because instead of giving loud dramatic energy, Brian somehow gives this calm, "I'm here, don't worry" type of vibe that instantly makes people emotional. Cold face, and now the internet cannot stop talking about it again, because every new movie scene keeps adding more evidence to the agenda. One thing viewers keep pointing out is how Brian Okwara rarely acts like the controlling husband type in movies, because his style feels softer, more patient, and emotionally mature, which is exactly why fans are connecting with his roles so much lately. Weary Collision people are now saying Brian has mastered the art of protective silence, because sometimes he barely says anything in scenes, but the way he watches Sonia Uch's character already tells viewers everything they need to know. Loudly Fire, there was one moment fans recently started reposting where Sonia looked overwhelmed while Brian quietly stayed beside her without interrupting, and somehow viewers turned that tiny scene into relationship goals immediately. Cold face, because according to fans, the emotional safety in that scene felt stronger than actual romantic dialogue. Another reason the internet keeps dragging Brian into this protective husband conversation is because he always gives the impression that Sonia Uch's character matters deeply to him, even in ordinary scenes. Weary face, like the man could literally be helping her cross the road in a movie, and fans would still start creating emotional edits with sad music in the background. Loudly Broken, and honestly nobody is even trying to hide the obsession anymore, because viewers have fully accepted that Brian and Sonia's emotional chemistry is one of the softest things Nollywood is giving people right now. Cold face, one fan even joked that Brian behaves like somebody who already knows Sonia Uch's blood pressure in every movie they act together, and the internet completely lost control after reading that. Loudly Fire, another thing making fans react is how Brian never rushes emotional scenes, because most actors try too hard to look romantic, but Brian somehow slows everything down in a way that makes viewers feel every moment. Weary Collision fans are especially obsessed with the way he listens to Sonia Uch's character during emotional conversations, because they say he gives full attention in scenes, like somebody genuinely trying to understand her feelings, instead of just waiting for his next line. And now viewers are saying this calm emotional presence is exactly why Brian's husband roles keep feeling believable. Cold face, some people even think Brian's biggest strength in Nollywood is not his looks or romance, but his ability to make viewers feel emotionally protected through the screen. Loudly Broken, because somehow every time Sonia Uch's character enters trouble, Brian automatically turns into this emotionally dependable figure that fans instantly trust. Weary Fire, another thing people keep noticing is how Brian never overshadows Sonia Uch in scenes, because instead of trying to dominate emotional moments, he usually balances the energy calmly, and fans are saying that maturity is what makes the chemistry hit differently. There are even viewers claiming that Brian's protective energy around Sonia Uch now feels so natural that they forget they are watching acting. Sometimes Cold face, and honestly, that explains why every tiny interaction between them immediately becomes another trending topic, because fans are constantly searching for hidden emotional details in their scenes. Loudly Collision, one thing the internet especially cannot survive is Brian's facial expressions whenever Sonia Uch's character is hurt emotionally, because viewers swear his eyes always look like he is carrying the pain personally. Weary Broken, and once fans notice those tiny reactions, the comments instantly become chaotic, because people start screaming about soft husband behavior all over again. Loudly Crying face, another funny part of this whole trend is how fans are now creating imaginary relationship stories around Brian and Sonia's movie scenes, because the chemistry keeps looking too comfortable and emotionally connected. Cold face, some viewers even joked that Brian acts like the type of husband that notices mood changes before words are spoken, and honestly the internet has not recovered from that observation. Loudly Fire, because once people started paying attention to the emotional details in his scenes, They realized Brian's protective energy is not loud or aggressive, but quiet, reassuring, and constant weary collision. That is exactly why fans keep calling him the most protective Nollywood husband again, because his style feels more realistic compared to overly dramatic movie relationships, loudly crying face. Another reason this conversation keeps getting bigger is because viewers are tired of toxic romantic storylines, where couples are always screaming at each other, so Brian's calm, supportive energy now feels refreshing to audiences. Cold-faced people are saying his scenes with Sonia Uch feel emotionally safe, and that alone already separates him from many other Nollywood pairings right now loudly broken. One particular thing fans cannot stop mentioning is how Brian always looks emotionally available in movies. Because even when Sonia Uch's character is being difficult, frustrated, or emotional, he rarely reacts with unnecessary aggression, weary fire. Instead, he usually responds with patience, understanding, or silent reassurance, which is making fans melt every single time. And now viewers are convinced that Brian has accidentally become the king of emotional husband roles in Nollywood, because nobody else is currently delivering this exact kind of soft, protective energy, consistently cold face. Another thing that keeps fueling the trend is the fact that Sonia Uch also responds naturally to Brian's calm presence in scenes, because their conversations never look too forced or overacted. Loudly collision fans are saying both actors somehow make ordinary interactions feel emotionally intimate without doing too much, which is why viewers keep replaying their scenes repeatedly. Weary face. Some fans even admitted they started watching certain movies only because they heard Brian Okwara was once again acting like Sonia Uch's emotional bodyguard, loudly broken. And honestly, the reactions online are becoming funnier every day, because viewers now treat every Brian and Sonia movie like a new episode in an unofficial marriage series. Cold fire. One person even said Brian looks like the type of husband that checks if his wife has eaten before